Welcome everyone to another deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, where history meets treasure hunting and where a single piece of copper can be worth more than a mansion. Today we are going to explore one of the most incredible and fascinating coins ever minted in the United States, the 1925 no-mint Mark V penny, a small humble coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm with its rarity, its historical value, and its staggering market price of $14 million. This is not just about numbers and prices, this is about a journey back in time almost 100 years ago to understand the events, the economy, the minting process, and the quirks of history that turned this little coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Let us start with the historical setting. The year is 1925. The United States is in the middle of the Roaring Twenties, a period of economic growth, jazz music, speakeasies, and rapid industrial expansion. It is a time of great optimism following the end of World War I. In 1918, the automobile industry is booming, radio broadcasting is beginning to enter homes, and America is in love with the idea of modernity and prosperity. But beneath all this, there are also undercurrents of change. The stock market is climbing fast, but no one knows that just 4 years later it will come crashing down. In the Great Depression, the U.S. Mint is busy producing coinage for daily commerce. At this time, the Lincoln wheat penny has already been in circulation for 16 years since its introduction in 1909. The design by Victor David Brenner features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the wheat ears framing the denomination on the reverse. This design would stay in place until 1958, and become one of the most iconic coins in American history. Now, what does it mean when we say no mint mark? For many collectors, this is a point of fascination. Mint marks are small letters stamped on coins to indicate which mint facility produced them. In 1925, pennies were struck at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Denver pennies carry a small D. San Francisco pennies have an S, but Philadelphia, which was the main mint facility, did not use a mint mark at all. So when you hear no mint mark for the 1925 wheat penny, it simply means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. However, here is where the rarity factor starts to become interesting. The 1925 Philadelphia wheat penny had a large mintage in general, but certain high-grade examples and rare varieties have become incredibly scarce, and in the case of the $14 million example, this was not just any penny. This was a coin in virtually flawless condition, preserved for decades with its original mint luster untouched by circulation. Imagine a coin from 1925 that looks as if it just left the presses yesterday. That is the kind of perfection collectors dream of. Now let us discuss why condition matters so much in coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen showing no signs of wear. A regular circulated 1925 no-mint Mark wheat penny might only be worth a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition, but in the rare event that a coin is found in pristine mint state, especially at grades like MS68 or higher, the value can skyrocket, and that is exactly what happened with the legendary $14 million penny. This coin was discovered in a private collection decades after it was originally minted. The owner had no idea of its true worth until it was evaluated by top grading companies. When it came back with a near-perfect grade, the coin immediately attracted worldwide attention. Collectors and investors alike saw it not only as a piece of history but as a unique artifact that may never appear on the market again. To understand why someone would pay $14 million for a penny, you have to consider the psychology of ultra-wealthy collectors. For them, it is not just about buying a coin, it is about owning something truly one of a kind. It is about prestige, rarity, and the thrill of possessing a treasure that others can only dream about. Think of it like a famous painting or a rare diamond. The value is not only in the metal itself but in its historical significance, its rarity, and the story behind it. Speaking of stories, the 1925 no-mint Mark wheat penny also carries the charm of the era in which it was made. The 1920s were a time of incredible change in America. For example, in 1925, the first motels were built along highways to accommodate a growing number of car travelers. The first woman governor in the United States, Nellie Taylor Ross, took office in Wyoming, and the legendary novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald was writing works that defined the decade. All of this was happening while ordinary Americans carried these very pennies in their pockets to buy bread, milk, and newspapers. Now you may wonder how to identify a genuine 1925 no-mint Mark wheat penny and how to know if you might have one. Worth a fortune. First, you would look at the date, clearly reading 1925 on the obverse without any letter under it indicating the mint. Second, you would check the condition. Is it worn, scratched, or does it still shine with original luster? Third, you might look for unusual characteristics such as doubled dies, repunched dates, or off-center strikes. These mint errors can make a coin even more valuable, especially if combined with high-grade condition. If you find a coin that meets these conditions, the next step is to have it authenticated and graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC. They will examine every detail under magnification to verify its authenticity and assign it a grade. This grade can make the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth millions. It is important to remember that while stories of multi-million-dollar pennies make headlines, they are extremely rare. Most 1925 no-mint mark wheat pennies, even in decent condition, will not fetch anywhere near that price. However, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility that your coin could be the next big discovery is what keeps collectors searching through jars, boxes, and inherited collections. The market for rare coins is also influenced by broader economic factors. Just like art, real estate, or classic cars, rare coins can go up or down in value depending on trends in collecting, the health of the economy, and the availability of top-tier specimens. The $14 million sale of the 1925 penny happened in a competitive auction environment where multiple wealthy bidders drove the price to unprecedented levels. In closing, the 1925 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than just a small copper coin. It is a time capsule from an era of American history filled with hope, growth, and cultural transformation. It represents the artistry and craftsmanship of the United States Mint, the enduring appeal of Abraham Lincoln as a national symbol, and the passion of collectors who dedicate their lives to finding and preserving these treasures. So the next time you come across an old penny, do not dismiss it as pocket change. It might just be a doorway into history, and if you are incredibly lucky, it might be worth far more than you could ever imagine. Maybe not $14 million, but who knows? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the next great discovery could be sitting in a coin jar right now.